after the live. I greatly appreciate it. Please make sure to hit that like button as it will greatly help push me through the analytics and will help more people reach this beautiful community. Hey, welcome in, Michael. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think it restarted, so I'll restart this. So, good evening, Mr. Mac. Welcome in. So, whether you're tuning in now or after the live, I greatly appreciate it. If you could be so kind as to hit the like button so that we can get more people into this beautiful community. I was just going to do it live. You know, my hair is getting in my eyes. I was just going to do a live, but I decided to. I was just going to do an update, but I decided to come on and do a live just in case anybody had any questions. I didn't really expect a lot of people to comment. It's kind of late, and I just figured more people would see this when it came on. So, Michael, welcome, and yes, roll one indeed. Dilly, good evening. Peace, Tom. Peace to you as well. Eric, welcome in. Trading with J-Rod. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Nick, welcome. Good evening. As Michigan continues to defy the odds, now we get to play Ohio State undefeated, so we'll see what happens. But John Patak, welcome in. Patak. Call of Aldebaran, welcome in. Crypto Roger, Sideways XRP is no fun. No, but it looks like to me, I know it looks like there's kind of a W reversal, but I think this is kind of just blah. And I think we're actually working towards an 8.7% drop more than likely. And we want this. We want to drop down here to like 564. Or bottom of the wedge. Or bottom of the, not the wedge, bottom of the descending channel. But before I go any farther, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you're watching this before or after, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're less than 60 subscribers from 19,000. Wouldn't it be cool if we could get to over 19,000 before December? I think it'd be cool. So if you watch my content, please make sure to hit that like button. Because I'm going to try to struggle through this, but my voice is in and out. So I've been doing sparing updates the last day and a half or so. Well, not yesterday, but sparing today at least. Until now. I couldn't resist. But good evening. 11:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, November 15th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I do thank anybody who took the time to tune in. I really do. So what we're looking for XRP in the 4-hourly is we're looking to see if we lose the 200-day. And that would be a good signal that this is going to continue on. We've already had that big dot cross. It's come through the 50 and the 100. Now it's like a foregone, not a foregone conclusion, but this is just standard operating procedure. Maybe you get a quick bounce off of what could be perceived as a little bull flag here and try to get rejected at like 615 and then have the drop down. But it's once you lose that 4-hourly, it's going to, in a pretty decent momentum here. And it really could come all the way down to 55. We don't know. We don't know. So we're going to see if that channel holds. But it suggests we could have a nice little fall here. So if that channel doesn't hold, it could make it very interesting. And that channel is based in the 4-hourly, that descending channel. So it's not going to show up as easily in the daily. But that's what we're looking at right now. So is that going to hold? I'm still a little disappointed by this topside liquidity that was grabbed by us. It cheated us out of a further move up. At least at that point, because it put in a double top there and it took all that topside liquidity. Anybody who had like little buy orders in that were going to buy it for the ride up, that's how you get your topside liquidity. Ones that will put it in wall and territory after a new high is established just so that they can catch a run further up. But by that fake news coming out, it took that topside liquidity. So now we're in a little trouble here. We really need to see if this channel holds. And I don't think this 200 days got a prayer right now in the 4-hourly. The one thing we have to remember is to pay attention to the weekly as the weekly candle closes tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's only 8.5 hours, or what is that? 7.5 hours from now. And I've been trying to talk about this in the last few updates very sparingly, but if this pulls down any farther, this would put it into a reversal candle. It already doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. But if we come down a little bit further here, and somehow, you know, maybe not this week, but next week it comes down, you could possibly retest the Golden Cross support. But right now it's on a little bit of a bearish trajectory here in the shorter time frames. But this descending channel, it's not a bullish or bearish pattern, but a lot of times the way it comes into a formation, it ends up breaking topside after it continues the completion of this. But where's the completion of this if it were to hold? that topside liquidity, it should make us all nervous. What's the story of the ISO implementation? It's just basically there's institutions, banks, businesses, the big guys, the big guys. You have a framework right now that's basically run by Swift under their whole it's how they transfer stuff. It's the old system. So when people say the ISO, you have to switch. You have to be able to run the new ISO framework. So if you're not, the coding isn't up to date, you're not able to run this new technology, or you don't have the right. I don't even know the right way to put it, but the right coding, basically. But they have until 2028. Here's the bottom line: 2028 is the last financial institution or bank or institution. That's the last date that they can run some kind of split off of the old framework. In 2028, they can no longer do that. There's a deadline that got pushed from 2025 to 26, 27. Now it's 28, but that's the final deadline, and allows banks, the smaller banks, maybe the countries that have less money, different areas that are in poverty more. That's so basically a bank could still use the old MoneyGram system, let's say, to send money through MoneyGram, and it takes a week or two. They would have to do like 50% of that and 50% of the new framework to where it's digital. So, but in 2028, they're all going to have to abide by that. That's why cryptocurrency in 28 is going to have its biggest year ever. It really is. There can be a lot of stuff that happens before that, but 28 should be everybody's target. Who knows when in 28? I think it's June or July, that deadline. But I'm looking at just end of year, 28. Whenever you look at a year, just look at the Q4. Q4 is when it should start moving, and if not by the end of the year, it should line itself up with the first of the year for it to just go crazy. So I'm excited about those times, but I also know it's all about building into it. And look, this is a descending channel. These are typically bullish reversals if we don't break the channel, obviously. Then it can just be a reversal pattern. But we're building pressure. You're looking to build pressure. We don't have an abundance of sell right now. It's actually drying up on the way down, which is good in the 4-hourly. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support. Well, we're trying to come to support. But it doesn't matter how high it goes up. It still ultimately was broken by that trend. So I think this is a real good lesson here. Real good lesson here for anybody who's trying to figure these out. And then if we look at the volume in the weekly, this has been a disaster candle in the weekly. I'll be the first to say that. And I think I was probably the first when it started reversing on us. But we've put in 198.73 million. This is not what you want to see. You opened at 5256. We'll have to see how this candle plays out. This isn't what you really want to see here, though, at all. We made a new high, but we came all the way back, and we didn't make a new low here. So we could say, hey, maybe we're making just a consolidated candle, but that means we're going to have to make our dump here and hold that formation. Or we hold exactly where we're at now, and that 593 is a double bottom. But we're running out of areas here where we can hold. And the problem is if you just look at the market cap, that rising channel came back into is firm. And now if it wanted to come back down, it can come all the way back down here. It can retest back down here at 30.89. That's a huge pivot level. But that leaves some room here for XRP. It really does. So I don't see any more news to cause a breakout this year. Maybe Elon chooses XLM ETF delayed next year. Oh, I mean, they're trying to push FUD this weekend. I don't know. I seen some one that has like 800,000 subscribers on X, or formerly Twitter. They put out that BlackRock and somebody else bought like $6.5 million worth of XRP, which it's a fake story, so I'm not covering it. They're going to have to do better than that to try to make me push that bullshit. But that's what they're trying to push right now. You'll see it on other channels. I'm just not pushing it. So that's what's being pushed. So they're trying to find some topside liquidity. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. Could that be absolutely, it can be a cup and handle in the weekly. 100%. That's what we're trying to play off of. A huge cup and handle. See the W, we've already got the beautiful W reversal. That's why I've said it's not the worst thing in the world, even if you fill the gaps. But it's in our best interest to hold some of these formational setups here. That's why I think building pressure in this descending channel and holding it, that's absolutely a huge cup and handle. And right now we're trying to put a bullish handle on the cup through this first tier. But if we could break it, that could bring you all the way back to 91 cents. It's a lot easier to see than the weekly. And you can see every step of the way it's kind of failing like it did back in 2017, just in smaller segments. Every single time it can't get up higher than it was previously. But this looks like, to me, if you're being just looking at this, it doesn't look done yet. The golden cross hasn't completed. At some point we should get a volatile spike. We really should. It's just I hate how they bent us over when they did that with the fake news. Really, they did. Eric, have a good one. Yeah, I'll be going here shortly, too. I'm not going to be on very long at all. I just wanted to come on and see if anybody had any questions, and just do this real quick. Because normally, this is already longer than my update would be normally. And then somebody said something about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin, if it goes to 34,000, it could. It's definitely within the possibility. Right now, we're for the most part trying to put in these little reversal candles here. I don't know what is going on here. I must have hit the touchscreen and made it sensitive, but we're on a broadening wedge here, so we're trying to break out in this broadening wedge. I hit the stupid thing. Let me see if I close it out. But we're in a broadening wedge, and 34,000 right now is a great area of support. We might not need to come down there. We really might not have to. It's just we have to be prepared for it. There we go. That's the technical target, though. If it breaks out and holds us properly, that's a second tier breakout. And in order to do that, we would have to get on top of 37,000. Or, what is that number? I think it was 38,000. Just 38,000 on the top of there. But we've already filled out the technical breakout after getting on top of the broadening wedge. That was your first move. Now you have to get on top of there and hold. This by no means is done yet. Bitcoin's not done yet. At this, you can't say it's done just based on this. These are nice, what could be perceived as inverted hammer candles. There's very little downside word pressure here in the weekly. But then if you start breaking it in the daily, these can certainly be reversal candles. But they're trying to prove topside pressure here. It's not necessarily dead yet, but if Bitcoin were to come down and consolidate properly and retest here finally, like a big retest, it should be able to get up to 42,898 if it doesn't break down. So it could be setting up a bigger move here all across the board in crypto. So that's why I'm optimistic here. Even if it breaks down, we know where we bought in. And some people are getting mad at me in the comments, which I always find hilarious. You always say 50-50 which way it's going to go. Well, I told everybody ever since 21 when we sold out, I don't make predictions. That was my one prediction I would make for everybody. Besides telling everybody to buy in 21. But when I said it was to sell at $1.66 after buying at 47 cents, and I gave all the reasons why and exactly where to buy it under 40 cents, that was the last prediction I was making, to say it was going to 52 first before a rally and then ultimately sub 40. So I don't make predictions. I predict the patterns, what the patterns are. We make a prediction based off the patterns, but that's only the most probable positioning. The only predictions I make is when I buy the cryptocurrencies, and I've had everybody can buy it with me equally. I don't charge for any of my content, so please hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it if you share this far and wide. You can also send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army if you really appreciate my work. That always goes the extra mile. But I've allowed everybody to build a portfolio with me, and we're doing very well in a bear market. Not to say we're going to be up at the end of this bear market if it does go down significantly. But we're in a nice spot to where we have our head well above water. And then if you want to buy more, if you want to sell, you have that every opportunity. I can only tell you what my strategy is and what I'm building towards in 2028. And the fact that this cryptocurrency, I'm not looking at selling it to put back in US dollars. I'm positioning myself for when these prices are monumentally cheap. And then I can ultimately use these beautiful cryptos that are part of the ISO and the Internet of Things in my everyday purchases. So it'll be like having a digital gold, while having physical gold as my store of value and silver. So if you play it the proper way, when we come into the time of destiny, a lot of people are going to be hurt. So that's our job, to pick up our families, pick up our our loved ones, and no questions asked. They might not listen to you now, but it's your job to carry them because you were be fortunate enough that you were given the gift from the man upstairs to be able to have this knowledge. We don't know why we do. We can just embrace the fact that we do have it and we're in front of a lot of things. A lot of people don't believe it, but before every big boom, you often have all the naysayers. They don't want everybody in a boom. So that's what I got, everybody. Be optimistic. Seriously, be optimistic. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciated this, make sure to hit that like button. Consider sharing this. It's getting late. I have to coach a football game tomorrow, and I still want to come on in the morning to do an update. So I want to save my voice while I can. I do appreciate everybody who tuned into this live. I hope this helped. I really do. Did this help? Did this help? I know we were together for about 16 minutes. Did this help everybody who's here? You don't even have to answer. I just appreciate everybody. If you're watching after, have a blessed night. Seriously, be kind to each other. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. Thank you, OMC, for saying that. I appreciate that. Copper, have a good night. John, thank you so much. John Patak, OMC, have a good night, everybody. Stay blessed, and thank you so much for putting up and tuning in with me on this lady.